Hello, everyone. Welcome to my list of the BR standards. If you don't know what the BR standards were, they were all of these 12 designs you see on here were all built by Robert A. Riddles for British Railways, and they were basically standard versions of for every region, but not all of them worked on all regions of British Railways. So and currently 8 of these designs are preserved. 4 of them are preserved. 4 of them are no longer here. They've been scrapped. Now let's get to the list. Number 12 is the BR2MT tanks. And I'm not putting them low on the list to say they are bad locomotives. So I don't like them is due to the fact they were copies of the Ivets, and the fact was they were just not unnecessary, to be honest. That's how I put these engines. Unnecessary. Like, there was already 100 Ivets when these engines were built. What was the point of building a copy version? 40 of these were built from 1953 to 1956. And unfortunately, none have made it to preservation, which is very unfortunate. But luckily, one of the BR2MT tender engines is currently being rebuilt at the Bluebell Railway as the newest member of the class, number 84030. So soon we'll be having another Ivet 2MT. I rate these engines as, well, the rating D. That's what I put these engines. Next is the BR2MT Moguls. Again, they're not bad locomotives. And they're not unnecessary either. It's just due to the fact is that they're copies of the Ivets, and they're basically just the Ivets. So they were built around 1952 to 1953 at either Crewe or Darlington or even Swindon. None of them worked in the south of England. And currently 4 have been preserved, with one of them, which is the youngest member of the class in preservation, currently being rebuilt as the new 2MT tank. And one of them even managed to get fame back when it was stuck in a snowdrift, which was on I think probably BBC telly. I don't know. So yeah, I just a D plus is what they get. Not bad, but just like the Ivets, the tanks. What was the point of these engines being built? Next is the BR3 Mogul. So all of the engines of, I think 30, if I can remember, were built in 1954, and well, they're not the best of the BR standards. They were kind of weak steamers. They only worked in like the northeastern region and the western region, I think. One of them did work in the southern region, but it just didn't fit in. Though surprisingly, these engines made it to 1967, which was 1 year before steam was properly withdrawn. So I think these were better than the Ivets, kind of. Unfortunately, none of them made it to preservation, and yeah, there's no plans to make a new build project. Guess they were the runt of the litter. They get a C minus, or basically okay. Number 9, the Duke of Gloucestershire. Yeah, a lot of people are probably gonna disagree, but to me, like, I like the Duke of Gloucestershire, even though I've never seen the engine, but she was a bit unnecessary. She was built in 1954, and by then steam was being phased out with diesels. Only one of them were built, which was this engine, and she wasn't popular with the crews, especially due to her weak steaming. And she was originally going to the National Collection, but in the end they just got her cylinders and had them on display. But luckily she did get preserved, because she was sent to none other than Barry Scrapyard which is very good that she did get saved. She only worked for about 8 years until 1962, where the engine was withdrawn. Luckily, in preservation, they modified her, and she is one of the most powerful steam locomotives in Britain, which is amazing. I'll rate her a C, just a C. Number 8, the 6MT, known as a Clan. So 10 of these engines were built in 1951 to 1952, and these engines only, and these engines were basically just mini Britannias. We'll get to the Britannias in a different part of this. It's just going to be a mini series, just to let you guys know. I have a model of this, which you guys may have seen in episode 1 of Steam Profile, which I'm planning to do the second one on a different Pacific, but more famous, obviously. And unfortunately, these engines have never made it to preservation either. Luckily, as I mentioned, there's a new member of the class, Angus, which is currently being built, and construction on her has gone very well, in my opinion, which is good, because these are engines that we should remember. But I put them low on here because they're just, there was not a lot of them built, and sure, some crews said they were better than Britannias, but still, just to see. Number 7, the 4MT Mogul. They were built around 1952 to 1957, and they worked on mostly in the northeastern region, as I last checked, because I think all of them were built at Darlington, probably. I'm not saying they're bad, it's just I don't really have a huge interest in these locomotives, but they are really good locomotives. A lot of people like these engines, but me, I don't have a huge interest in them. I don't even think Bachmann has even made a model, nor Hornby. But yeah, to be honest, it's a tiny bit of a class in my opinion that's kind of forgotten. Model railways have proved it. C+ though, because they are good performers. Okay, this was a hard choice for me when I was thinking of who should be number 5 or 6, and I picked the 4MT 10-wheeler. These engines were built in 1951 to 1957. They were built at Swindon, all of them were, for mixed traffic duties. They even worked on the Cambrian region with the Manners, but they were a bit unnecessary. But a lot of crews loved these engines, and one of them even took a DMU when they were both running side to side. I mean, overtook. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And plus, I've grown a huge connection to these engines due to the one on my local railway, number 75069. And one of them was saved by David Shepherd, number 75029, the Green Knight, who is currently being overhauled, as I last checked. So I rate this engine a B-. Alright, now I'm going to stop the video from here, but I will do a part 2, where I'll finish off the list. Yeah, so calling it a mini-series was kind of stupid. Anyway,